A very good evening, everyone, and welcome for this first of hopefully many online debate classes with my dear friend Christophe Humblot. I'm actually very happy to be introducing Christophe to I think many of you who don't know him yet. I've known Christophe for many years. We met at Nalanda Monastery when I was studying there in France, and yeah, I was staying there for 5 years. When I finished the study program, I left and came back to India. And Christophe stayed, I think, 3 more years and left only recently. Now he's taking care of his mother. He's looking after his mother. But he's still very much involved, teaching in many different places, in France, in Switzerland, and translating many programs from Tibetan to French or from English to French for Nalanda Monastery, for Kalachakra Center, for Jamyang Buddhist Center in London, as well as recently Christophe started interpreting the Nalanda Diploma course, batch 5 from Tibet House, New Delhi, taught by Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul. And so I'm very happy that Christophe accepted our request to teach debate for Tushita. But of course, Christophe lives in France, now looking after his mother. But who knows in the future? Who knows what will happen? And Christophe might be, passing through Delhi one day, hopefully. But these sessions will be happening online for the time being, every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. IST. Is there something else I would like to say? Yeah, perhaps I would encourage everybody to please turn on your camera if you can, if you are dressed properly, so that it is easier to interact and debate with each other. Yes. I don't know if there is anything else I should say, but perhaps later if I think of something. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining, and please enjoy this first session, learning about how to debate to deepen our understanding of the Buddha's teachings. And Christophe, thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and please, please go ahead and teach. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nicola. Yeah, we are like kind of karmic friends, karmic brothers. So of course, his introduction is a bit exaggerated. Yes, yes, I'm very happy to meet you and to meet Nicola again. That's very nice. So we will go step by step, slowly from A to Z. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to interact, if you have questions, yeah, dare to ask, dare to just raise your hand, and then we can discuss. Yeah, it will be very interactive. So I don't have any skills. Very far from my teachers like Vener Gendandul. But your skill is your responsibility is to make mistakes, because the more you make mistakes, the more you will learn. Yeah. So don't hesitate to reply, to give an answer, and no problem, we can double check together. Yeah. So it's important to have a good motivation. That's your responsibility as well. And I'm very happy that we can accomplish the wishes of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who would like lay people to approach the debate. Yeah, that's very useful. Okay, so wait, who is totally new? Okay, very good, very good. Okay, fresh blood, very good. Okay, so
totally new to debate, you mean?
okay, yes, very good.
No, I'm asking.
Sorry?
I'm asking, are you is the question, are you totally new to debate?
Myself?
No. The question you asked us,
Sorry.
who is totally new?
Yes,
Could you
sorry.
qualify this new, please?
So yes, if you just have heard about that, or if you have seen some pictures or movies, or in India debating monks and so on, yeah, just that. If you don't have more than that, then I would qualify that as new. Yeah. Okay, no problem. So
I've only looked a little bit at as Dania produced book.
Oh, very good, Nicole.
But that's
Very
all.
good.
I mean,
Chanchapardana.
I haven't learned
One.
anything or practiced, but that's all.
Okay, that will be
But
perfect.
I still consider I'm a total beginner because of that.
Very good. Fresh blood. Yeah, we like it. Okay. Okay, I put some more sounds to be sure I can hear you properly. Perfect. So, we will debate, of course, in order to have some conceptual tools, yeah, in order to enter the reasonings in the Lam Rim, in the middle way philosophy, and so on. That's very useful for that. So we will learn from the Sautrantika background, yeah. That's one of the Buddhist schools. It's very useful, very handy to learn the basics. Then we can correct a few details and enter the more final philosophy tenets, yeah, philosophical tenets. So the purpose of the debate, what is that? What do you think about the purpose of the debate? What is the main goal of the debate? What do you think? Anyone?
Exhaust concepts, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, wow. Very deep.
I didn't
was
hear.
told that it is to sharpen our minds. It is to ensure that we explore every single venue and open our minds for different interpretations.
Yes, very good. Very good. Okay, wonderful. Yes, we will learn many things, of course, but it will be like in an easygoing way. Yeah? That's very important that we have fun and we play with the philosophy. Yeah? So, okay. So the main goals, we would say that there are three main goals. Yeah, we would say in the classical text, we would say like Shenluk Garba first in Tibetan. Yeah, we will eliminate wrong views. Yeah, so that's the main goal, first to eliminate wrong views, because according to Buddhist principles, we are caught in the samsara because of ignorance. Yeah, so we want to discard ignorance. Yeah, so we want to discard wrong views. Okay, then the second one would be Ranluk Sharpa. How can we hold a tenet? Yeah, so we try to hold a tenet, we try to hold the point of view, an opinion. That's very important, but we are not our opinion. Yeah? If someone is criticizing a view, it's just a view. So it's important to keep some distance with our views. That's what we will learn as well. Yeah, that's very important for that as well. Okay, and the last point would be like, how can we answer the objections to that view that we try to hold? Yeah, so yeah, tsupa bonwa in Tibetan. Okay, so then we try to have fun with that. So first we will learn how we compare phenomena. So if you didn't have any time to check the file, that's okay. We will see it together. Okay, it should be there. Okay. Perfect. So, Nico, tu crois que je peux partager l'écran si j'ai la main?
Yes, you have the possibility to share. There's a share button at the bottom of the screen, like a green button that says share.
Oh, yes, wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so you should be able to see what is there on the screen, yeah? Everyone can see? Yeah, okay, perfect. So, yes, when we debate, we have questions, answers. Yeah, you have the challenger who is standing up, and you have the defender who is sitting down. So even the gesture shows some power in the challenger. Yeah, he runs the show. We could say. Yeah. So okay. So he will ask questions to the defender. He will ask you, for instance, if I ask you, could you compare cold water and water? Is that the same? No, it's not the same. Who would say yes, it's the same, cold water and water? No, nobody would say so. Yeah, so you can see there is a difference between cold water and water. So we need to compare phenomena which are at least conceptually distinct. Yeah, if your conceptual mind can distinguish them, then they are different. They are distinct. Yeah, they are diverse, we could say. Yeah. Okay, perfect. And the two items that we will try to compare have to be different. They have to exist. Yeah, different. In Tibetan would be so. So that means diverse phenomena. Yeah, so phenomenon, che in Tibetan, or dharma in Sanskrit, means existent. Yeah, so two phenomena that we compare have to exist. Yeah, they have to be ascertained by someone, by a mind, and so on. Yeah, okay. Is that okay for everyone? Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so could we say that a round square and a horn of the rabbit are different? No, who would say yes? Who would dare to say yes? No, so who would say why they are not different? Who would explain?
Because they are non-existent.
Oh,
They are
so
not phenomena.
wonderful. How do you know that they don't exist? Yeah, it was Zigrun, yeah?
Yeah, I've never perceived something. And like a circle is by definition not, how did you say, does not have four corners.
Hmm.
It cannot, a circle cannot be a square. So yeah.
Okay.
Now it gets complicated.
Okay, so yeah, of course, yeah. It can be round or it could be square, but it cannot be a round square. Yeah, that's not possible. Yeah, so a round square cannot be observed by anyone. That's not possible. Yeah, so if it's not observed by valid cognition, it cannot exist. Yeah, it's not an existent. If it's not observed by a valid cognition, a mind that realizes its object, so then it cannot exist. Yeah. Okay, so then you would be able to say why we can say that something exists.
Christophe, on
Yes.
t'entend beaucoup moins, on t'entend beaucoup moins que les autres personnes, en fait. Je sais pas s'il y a quelque chose à faire, mais je te le dis. On
Ah,
t'entend beaucoup moins au niveau du son.
ok, peut-être c'est sur
Mm.
ton ordinateur ou je sais pas, est-ce que je suis sur
Je
le
sais pas,
micro?
mais j'entends bien les personnes, mais pas toi.
And Nathalie,
Ah.
perhaps we can keep this in English because there are many non-French speakers
Ah,
here.
sorry.
And
Oh, sorry.
I'm actually hearing Toph properly.
Really?
But I
That's
think
weird. I hear.
you're maybe watching from a phone or something, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
that's
I
not
don't know.
ideal.
Okay, so I'll try to speak a little bit louder. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So who could explain why we can say that, for instance, a square exists?
Could it be because they can be realized by, that's what you said, realized by valid cognition, and also
Yeah.
because they conventionally exist?
Yes, exactly. Wonderful. If it can be observed by a valid cognition, it exists. Yeah, that's very important to make that distinction, yeah, from the start. So why is it important to make that distinction? Because as we said before, we are caught in the samsara, in the cyclic existence, because of self-grasping ignorance. Yeah, so ignorance is fully convinced that a non-existent exists. So we have to realize the non-existence of that existence. of that non-existence. Yes, we have to realize that what our ignorance is convinced to be existent doesn't exist at all, has never existed at all. Yeah, so that's why we have to know what means non-existent and what means existent from the very start. Yeah, okay. Wonderful. So now if we say diverse phenomena, that's the definition. Yeah, the definition of different. Yeah, so we cannot say that yes, Aditya, yeah?
Yes, sir. Could we start with what do we mean by valid cognition?
Oh, yes, very important. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
We will learn that, of course, a little bit more in the next sessions, if we have, I hope, if we are not running away from the after this one. Yes, we try to learn that because that we could say that according to the Buddhist view, we have the ontological side, the way things exist, yeah, the reality, and we have the epistemological side. We have how we know that things exist or don't exist and so on. Yeah, how we know that we know, how we know that we don't know. Yeah, so valid cognition is in that category. Yeah, so a valid cognition is a mind. Yeah, that's a cognition. Yeah, that's a mind that, according to the Sotrantika, is new and incontrovertible. It realizes newly its object. It has to realize its object. Yeah, so and a valid cognition can realize only what exists. Yeah. So if it doesn't exist, it cannot be realized by valid cognition. Yeah. So that's a mind that knows perfectly, that is in accordance with reality. Yeah. But we will dive into that. Yeah. Slowly, step by step. Okay. So that's a mind that knows perfectly its object. So if we know something, it exists. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So we could say phenomenon, existent, observed by a valid cognition are equivalent. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go a little bit down in the file.
Disagree,
Okay.
because if I can conceive,
Sorry.
I would surely disagree, because if I can conceive of the concept of the circular square,
Yes. Yes.
then it at least exists as a concept. It
Exactly.
may be a semantic ghost, but it still exists in some form.
Yes, Mathieu.
You could say a square exists, but I would love to see a real square in real life. There's no such thing,
Exactly.
because
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can
that's
never
true.
have equal side, perfectly equal sides to something. We can point at something and go, that looks like a square, or that's approximately a square, but we can never say something is actually a square,
Yeah.
because we can
Okay.
never cut something to have perfectly equal sides.
Yes.
Am I making sense, or am I just
Yes. Yes.
losing myself
Good.
here?
So the concepts, yeah, that's very important what you say, because we could say, in other words, according to the Buddhist view, we would say that the round square is just an imaginary. It's just merely imputed, we would say. Torpe tartsam in Tibetan. Torpe tartsam. It's a mere imputation. So the concept exists, yeah, of course, because we can think about a round square, we can think about a blue unicorn, we can think about horn of the rabbit and so on, yeah. So because we saw a rabbit and we saw horns on cows and so on, so then we can imagine horn of the rabbit, yeah, rabbit horn. Okay. So we could ask the question, if it exists only in the imagination, does it exist?
Yes.
Hmm.
Everything's imagination.
Okay.
Okay, here's a little one for you. There was a man upon the stair, a little man. No, hang on. Let me if I remember this correctly. I've lost the.
Okay, no problem.
No,
No
I'll
problem.
get back to you on that one.
We could say, yeah, of course, the concepts exist. So the concept of the square round and the concept of the unicorn exists. Yeah. So we have no issue with that. Yeah. So both concepts exist, but they have no referent in reality. Yeah, so we are looking for the referent itself, yeah, and there is no referent because it's a non-existent. There is no round square anywhere. Yeah, so that's why we could say that if it's only Yonzin Purbucha would say in his classical textbook, Ranzin topet zintan ki yu yina, zintan ki yu yinbe makap. If it is the object of the mode of apprehension of the thought consciousness apprehending it, it's not necessarily the object of the mode of apprehension. So if he just wants to say that if it only exists in the imagination, it cannot exist at all because there is no referent in reality. Yeah. So that's what you said more or less, no, Matthew? At least about the concepts, yeah. Nicole?
I said everything's imagination.
Sorry?
I said everything's imagination.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Isn't it, Christopher, that I think one of the things that was so important when you started this class is in presented in the South Tantrika view,
Yeah.
because there's other views like the mind only
Mm.
that present the fact that indeed everything comes from the mind, from the Laya Vijnana. So I think that's important also to clarify that
Yes.
that the view where we're standing in order to learn this class.
Exactly. So that's why we spoke about the Sautrantika, especially the Sautrantika following reasoning, because that's the main starting stone, yeah, a stepping stone, yeah, we could say. So when we know properly the Sautrantika, then we can dive into the Chittamatra. The Chittamatra would not exactly say that everything comes from the mind, because it's from the seeds. Yeah, seeds, they produce the form, and the mind apprehending the form all together. Yeah, so it's we could say everything is the same entity with the mind. We could say that, yeah, for the Chittamatra. Okay, but we will see that later. Of course, if we know a little bit more the Sautrantika, everything will be much easier. Yeah, when we enter in the different schools. Yeah. Yeah, change your pardon là.
Okay. Can you hear me? Because my microphone is not always very good.
Very low, yeah, very low. Huh?
Okay, I'll put the microphone close.
Okay.
My question is also around valid cognition. So it's the criteria. It's whether something is observed by valid cognition or not. Determines whether it's existent or not.
Yes.
So, since I do not have valid cognition,
Oh.
and most of the people I know probably don't either, so how can I say that my cup is an existent? I have to refer to somebody else that has valid cognition, or a text that has recorded what somebody with valid cognition said.
Mm.
So when we say this is said by valid cognition, it would be good to I mean, to me it's very vague, because anybody could say that, I mean, you have to say where it was recorded that it is valid,
Mhm.
that this was seen, observed by valid cognition.
Mhm. Yeah. So yes, so we could say, okay, if I follow your statement, yeah, Chanchul Pedunla, if you say you don't have any valid cognition, how do you know that you don't have any valid cognition? Because if you don't have any valid cognition proving that you don't have any valid cognition, you cannot say so. Yeah. So if you don't have any valid cognition proving that you don't have valid cognition, if you don't know that you don't have valid cognition, you cannot say that you don't have. And if you say, oh, I know that I don't have valid cognition, so you have a valid cognition. So it contradicts itself, no?
No. I can see where my views are sometimes wrong. I can see when
Yes.
I
Good.
I mistake a rope
Uh-huh.
in the dark for a
Very
snake.
good. Yes.
It is possible.
Oh, wonderful. So it's a valid cognition that realizes that that was a mistake before. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's valid cognition,
Uh,
not pramana.
yeah. You would say not?
It may be another kind of correct, maybe a correct assumption.
Okay. So maybe yeah, for the technical terms we will come again in that, yeah, because there are some people who are totally
But
new.
I mean you can have correct
Yeah.
perceptions without
Yes.
there being valid cognition.
Yes, sure. Exactly.
So I
Yes.
think when my perceptions are correct, then they can be correct without being valid cognition. Therefore, I
Yes.
can know certain things
Yeah,
are right or wrong,
yeah.
but without necessarily having valid cognition.
Yeah, so that's why we have to maybe to approach that, yeah, to explain a little bit what is valid cognition. So it's a mental event, yeah. It's not just knowing, you know. I would highly encourage people who are interested to read Recognizing Reality from Geshe Dreyfus. That's just the Bible for the Buddhist epistemology, especially in the Sotrantika. So recognizing reality, yeah, that's just wonderful, yeah. Okay. So yeah, valid cognition, yeah. So it's not, it's just not mere knowledge, yeah. Yeah, because yeah, I know that I know what is you know, 2 + 2, I know that, yeah. So that's information. We don't mean that when we speak about valid cognition. It's a mental event, even if there is no, you know, memory about that, about something, or, you know, it's just like mere mind. That's a mind, that's a cognition. It has to know in one sense. And according to the Sotrantika, it has to know properly, it has to realize its object, it has to cut superimpositions, yeah? And according to the Sotrantika, it has to be new. So new can be debated, of course, because it means by its own power, yeah? Like in the definition given by Kedukje, yeah? You could read also freedom through correct knowing, yeah? That wonderful book translated by Venerable Geshe Nanda and Geshe Letsop. So you could check that, freedom through correct knowing. You would see inside the definition given by Kedukje, who says Ranwandu by its own power, yeah? That valid cognition, yeah? Ranwandu yon shewe shejala lua mebesheba. He says that that's a cognition that is incontrovertible with regard to its object, that it has perfectly determined. Yeah, Yong Chewe Sheja. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, by its own power, Rawandu in Tibetan. Yeah, so when we say new and incontrovertible, new means by its own power. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah, okay. Okay, and it has to realize its object. It has to obtain its identified object. It has to cut superimpositions about its object. Yeah, that's what we mean when we say realizing consciousness. Yeah, or incontrovertible. Yeah, avisamvadi in Sanskrit. Yeah, avisamvadi. Yeah, it has to cut superimpositions. We don't mean that it has to cut all the superimpositions. Otherwise, only a Buddha would know a phenomenon. Yeah. Okay, and it's not necessarily my valid cognition. Yeah, for instance, I don't have any valid cognition of emptiness, of subtle impermanence, and so on, and rebirth and karma and so on. I don't have any valid cognition. Yeah, but some other people, they have valid cognition. Yeah, of that. So that's what we mean. Yeah, in general, it has to be ascertained or observed by valid cognition. That's what we mean. Yeah, not necessarily by my valid cognition. Yeah, very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Wow. Okay. That's perfect. So then when we compare the two phenomena, so we could ask ourselves, are there any common bases? Who would tell us what means a common base? Who would like to tell us? Nobody dares? Check on Google.
The first object, where we have an example of the first object and the second object being equal.
Yes, we could say something similar to that. Yes. So we would say that a common base, it has to exist. It's something that exists and has to be A and B. Yeah. Yeah. For instance, before we spoke about cold water and water. So if you show me some common base between water and cold water, what would it be, for instance?
Water.
Just water? Because this water is not cold, yeah? but it's water inside.
Yeah.
So we cannot just say water, yeah? Sorry?
Cold water is cold water, and then the water, an example of water can be cold water.
Yeah, we could say we could just check one illustration of cold water and water, like the water in the river, yeah? In the river in the city where I live, there is the river, and the water of the river over there is at the same time water and cold water, yeah? Yeah, that's okay for everyone? Okay.
Well, can't we also say, I mean, to me, it's like the Venn diagrams. And so if you take the attributes of water, it's fluid, it's wet, like this. Cold water also has these attributes. The
Exactly.
temperature of the water in A may sometimes be cold or may not be different temperatures.
Yes,
But
yes,
when it's
exactly.
cold, it will overlap with the
Exactly. We could formulate that in a debate format. We could say we posit the pervasion. Yeah, we posit the pervasion. The challenger sometimes will ask you that. He would say, posit the pervasion. Yeah, if there are common bases. Okay, so you could say if it is cold water, it's necessarily water.
yeah.
But if it is water, it's not necessarily cold water. Yeah. Okay, for instance, the hot water in my cup. Yeah. Okay, it is water, but it's not cold water. Oh, wonderful. So that's the pervasion. Yeah, we posit the pervasion. If it is cold water, it's necessarily water, but if it's water, it's not necessarily cold water. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Then the challenger knows what you think, because if we say that there is a larger pervasion and so on, then the challenger doesn't know what you think. He doesn't know if you think if it is cold water, it's necessarily water, or if you think if it is water, it's necessarily cold water. Yeah. So that's why he will ask you the pervasion. Then he will know then, okay, you think if it is cold water, it has to be water. Okay, wonderful. So there's a lot of repetitions, yeah, during the debate, because we learn the definitions and we express again the consequences of the assertion given by the defender. So that's normal. It's like this. Yeah, we learn slowly. Yeah. Okay. So would you say that, for instance, blue unicorn would be a common base between non-existent and that which is not observed by valid cognition? Yes, some people would say so. Okay, okay. Who would say no? Because I see only 3 cams. Okay, so I will just repeat. Would you accept that blue unicorn with pink hairs? Merci, thank you. Is a common base between non-existent and that which is not observed by valid cognition? Aha! Some people said yes. Yeah, okay, so it follows that a blue unicorn with pink hairs exists because it's a common base, and a common base has to exist. Oh, good. So it's not a common base. It's not, on one side, it's not existent. On the other side, it's not observed by valid cognition, but we cannot say that it's a common base between both of them. Yeah. Okay, do you follow me? Yeah? Okay, I hope. Yes.
Because you said at the beginning, when you defined a common base, it's something that exists.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It has to exist, yeah. Wonderful. Okay. So, yeah, you are all very clever. I'm very happy. Yeah, we have a good start. That's wonderful. So, okay. So, if yeah.
Excuse-moi. Oh, sorry. Is it an important point? Because I didn't get it very well.
Yeah.
The question was, is a non-existent a common base with a non-observed, something not
Yeah.
observed by valid cognition?
Yes.
Does that mean the same? And at the end, it means it's not at all the same. There's no common base between the two. Not being
Exactly.
observed by valid cognition, which is something existing, and non-existent. Okay, they're opposed actually.
So
Non-existent.
so yeah, the subject of the debate was, so we
Yeah.
tried to check if there is any common base between first non-existent and
Yeah.
that which is not observed by valid cognition. Yeah.
Oh, oui, okay. Yeah, okay.
Do you
No,
find so?
I think,
Do you find so?
yeah. No, I think it's totally opposed, different. Not just, merde, I don't have the words in English. Contradictory. It's existent and non-existent. No,
Okay.
not
So
observed is a non-existent.
okay, we
I
will
don't
see
know.
that.
I don't know.
We will
Sorry.
see that. Yeah, we will see that about existent, non-existent, how we compare them. We will see that. But okay, so
Okay.
we all agree that there is no common base between non-existent and that which is not observed by valid cognition, yeah? Because the common base has to exist, yeah? Okay, that's just a basic principle, yeah? Wonderful. So
Okay.
if we compare two phenomena and we cannot find two different phenomena, yeah, two diverse phenomena, if we cannot find any common base between both of them, then they are contradictory, yeah? They are different and there is no common base. That's the definition of contradictory, yeah? Different and no common base. Okay, so I would say, I would tell you, it follows that it follows that a blue unicorn and a pink unicorn are contradictory.
It's,
You would, oh, sorry, I didn't finish. If you
I know,
accept, if you say yes, you would say accept in the debate format. Yeah? If you don't accept that, if you would say no, then you would say why. Yeah, if you accept, you say accept. If you don't accept, you say why. Yeah, it's just like the how we speak, yeah, in the debate format. Sorry. So okay, so my question is, okay, it follows that the blue unicorn and the big unicorn, pink unicorn are contradictory. Who
why?
accepts?
Why?
Well,
Accept.
yeah. So it follows that they exist because they are different and not common base.
Why?
And what is it? It follows you can posit the definition of different.
Mm.
Different. We had it just before. Yeah, the definition of different. Who was it?
They have a common base, but they are different, at least in name, no?
Different, not contradictory. Different. Yeah, just different. Yeah.
Different? Different?
Yeah.
They have a common base, but they are different in name? Oh no, sorry.
Something conceptually at least different.
So different is the definition is diverse phenomena. Diverse phenomena, yeah. So they have to exist, yeah. So a chur, yeah, a chur is a phenomenon, yeah, has to exist, yeah. So if we say that the definition of contradictory is different and no common base, then we imply that they have to exist, no? Because they have to be diverse phenomena. So the blue unicorn and the pink unicorn are not contradictory because they are not different.
Don't exist.
Because they are not diverse phenomena. Yeah, do you agree?
And no phenomena. So, okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is it okay for everyone? Okay, yeah, okay.
Like
Yeah, please.
brain.
I have a quick question. Did we say that the common base as well as the items compared both should exist?
Yes, exactly, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
because if we say that both are different, then they have to be diverse phenomena. Yeah, so they have to be both phenomena. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and phenomenon means existent. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, if you keep that in mind, yeah, phenomenon means existent. If it is different, it has to exist. If it is contradictory, it has to be different, so it has to exist. Yeah. Wow. So the blue unicorn and the pink unicorn are not contradictory.
No.
So they are equivalent.
No, it does not exist.
Exactly. Yeah. You are not following my trap. Wonderful. So yes, they are nothing. There cannot be different. They cannot be contradictory. They cannot be equivalent, and anything like that. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. You're so smart. That's wonderful. Okay. Okay. So now, if we compare, for instance, existent and non-existent, they are contradictory.
Why?
They are not contradictory. Accept. Wow. They are not contradictory because?
Because they are non-existent. And contradictory, if they are contradictory, they have to be different and they have to be phenomena.
Oh, so it follows that the subject existent doesn't exist.
Oh, no. No. The non-existent do not exist.
Yeah,
You cannot compare the two phenomena because one of them is non-existent.
Oh, wonderful, Zigrun. We could say, in one sense, the subject existent is contradictory with non-existent, but we cannot say that non-existent and existent are both contradictory. Yeah, that's why in debate in Tibetan Buddhism from Yonzin Bulbuchok and Daniel Perdue, we find mutual exclusion, yeah, mutually exclusive. So it tends to show that both are mutually contradictory, so both have to exist, yeah. But in some cases, yeah, we could say that a rose is contradictory with horn of the rabbit, but they are not both contradictory, yeah, they are not mutually exclusive. So that's why nowadays we speak more about contradiction than mutual exclusion. That's just a tiny point. Yeah, it's just for some people who are interested by that. Yeah, okay. So we cannot say that a blue unicorn and sorry?
Could you repeat that, please?
Yes, about the mutual exclusion. Yeah, in that very case, that's very difficult to hold that in debate, that existent and non-existent are mutually exclusive, because that would imply that both exist. Yeah, because they would be different and no common base. Yeah. No.
Therefore, the term used is contradictory, right?
So yeah, we would say that the subject existent is contradictory with non-existent, but it's not the way around. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so the first logical relationship between two phenomena is the contradiction. So if you ascertain that both exist, they are different, and you don't find any common base, they are contradictory, you already found your answer. Yeah? If the challenger asks you, okay, it follows that you can posit the difference between pot and table. Yes, you accept. Okay, posit. Contradictory. It follows that the subject, both the two pot and table are contradictory. Yes, they are contradictory because
they exist, and a pot is not a table, and a table is not a pot.
okay, yes, that's a wonderful way to express that. Exactly. Yeah. It's not just merely repeating the definition of contradictory. It's more inventive. Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, exactly. Because they exist and there is nothing which is both. Yeah. There is a table cannot be a cup and a cup cannot be a table. Exactly. Wonderful. Yeah. Okay. So then we can check again the text if you wish. Yes. Okay. So if there are no common base, they are different. Okay, you found your answer. They are contradictory. Okay, wonderful. So that's the first comparison. So, okay, now you could find some common base. Yeah, between, like, for instance, you could find some common base between existent and phenomenon. I'm sure you can posit many illustrations, many common bases between existent and phenomenon. What would it be?
A cup, for
Yeah,
example.
yes, exactly.
I mean, all phenomenon because they are synonymous.
Exactly. They are synonymous, they are equivalent, exactly. Wonderful. So, if they are equivalent, there are only common bases. Yeah, for contradictory, they are different. There are no common base. And there is no common base. And for equivalent, they are also different, but there are only common bases between them. Yeah? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so it's like the two circles like this, A and B. If it is A, it has to be B. If it's B, it has to be A. Yeah. If it's not A, it's not B. If it's not B, it's not A. If there is A, there is B. If there is B, there is A. If somewhere in the multiverse of Doctor Strange there is not A, there is not B. If there is not B, there is not A. Okay. So then they are different and share the 8 doors of pervasion. Yeah, the 8 doors here are quite easy to understand. Yeah, so that's the definition of equivalent. Yeah, different and the 8 doors of pervasion. Yeah, okay. So there is some specificity with that because, for instance, can you give me other equivalents, like other illustrations?
Water and H2O.
Yeah, exactly. Water and H2O. It follows that ice is H2O. Oh, so it follows that ice is water. So it follows that which is hard and obstructive like ice is wet and moistening like water. Okay, we could have that kind of debate, yeah. So that's interesting. But yes, I would accept, yeah, I would agree, yeah. H2O and water are equivalent. If it's the one, it's the other. If there is not the one, there is not the other, and so on, yeah. Okay, wonderful. We could say existent and observed by valid cognition. We could say valid cognition and new and incontrovertible knower. Yeah. We could say so. Because you can have some equivalent items, but you have more specific equivalent items. One is the definition of the other. Yeah. So when one is the definition of the other would be the definiendum. Yeah. The defined thing. Yeah. By that definition. So a definiendum and its definition are necessarily equivalent. But if it is equivalent, it's not necessarily a relationship of definition and definiendum, yeah? Like we could say equivalent, sorry, we could say yeah, phenomenon and existent. Phenomenon and existent are equivalent, but one is not the definition of the other, yeah? Yeah, it's okay for everyone? It's not going too quick? Otherwise, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Yeah, please dare to interrupt me and to ask questions. We are here for that. Yeah.
I have a question going back to the water, H2O, ice, equivalencies, because the chemical substance, the chemical makeup, the molecules in both ice and water are the same.
Yes.
But the way they associate is different, and therefore there's a different form. And this is in the polar bear at the North Pole. If all his ice goes into water, he's not going to think that they're equivalent, right?
Yes.
So I think that it may be equivalent in a certain context when we're only talking about the kind of the nature of the two, but not when we're talking about the form or their functions.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, exactly. So that
we can't we can't isolate these
Mhm.
equivalencies from the context.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the kind of debate. Yeah, both parties could indeed defend their views. Yeah, one could say yes, even if it's hard and obstructive like ice, it is still water because it's H2O. And we could defend that, and we can we could hold the other view, your view. We could say no, hard and obstructive and wet and moistening are contradictory. So yeah, that's why the Sotrantika at some point would draw our attention to the some limitations of that view. Yeah. At some point, we will see some limitations in that view, but we are looking for that, yeah, because it's not the final answer, of course, yeah, in the Buddhist views. Yeah? Okay, but that's very interesting indeed. Okay, wonderful. So,
Could we say that water and chu are equivalent?
sorry?
Could we say that water and chu are equivalent?
Ah, yeah. I understood Gobi. Shu.
Chu.
What is true?
Yeah, Chu.
Water and pani are they
Pani,
equivalent?
Pani. Exactly, I would accept. They are equivalent. Even if they don't have exactly the same definitions, because the definition, but in one sense, for the Buddhist philosophy, the definition is not the sentence written in the dictionary. Yeah? It's the whole set of the characteristics of the thing itself. So yes, in one sense, yeah, we could say that. Yeah. Chu is equivalent with water and O and pani and so on. Yeah, even if the definitions would be like formulated in another language, but wet and moistening or lenshi sharwa in Tibetan would be the same set of characteristics indeed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Very good.
But they were talking about terms. I mean, the two terms refer to the same. The referent in reality.
Yeah.
The two
Yeah.
terms themselves are not.
Yeah. That's why they're equivalent. We would say in Tibetan "dönchik" for equivalent. Yeah, the object is the same in one sense. The meaning is the same.
So that really is the definition of equivalent. It's the object. The meaning is the same.
So yes, that's what they mean when they say they are different and they share the 8 doors of pervision. Yeah, so that would be kind of another formulation of what you say. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so till now we compared two phenomena which are diverse, or two different phenomena, and in the first case there are no common base, and in the other case there are only common base. But we will see that the second one, yeah, equivalent is the second answer that you could find. Yeah, when you compare two phenomena, you could say, okay, they're equivalent. Okay. But you could also ask yourself, can we find something which is exclusively with A and not B? Like we saw just before, water and cold water, yeah? Water and cold water. So water would be A or B? On the design here that you see, yeah?
A, water would be A and cold water would be B.
Yes, exactly. Yes, because cold water is totally included within water. Yeah, there is no cold water which is not water. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So we have the first possibility, that which is A and B. Yeah, the water in the river is at the same time is a common base between A and B, between water and cold water. Yeah, everyone agrees? Okay, so that's the first possibility. The second possibility would be water, which is not cold water, A, which is not B, yeah? So hot water, yeah? Hot water is the second possibility. And the third one is something which is neither. So what would be there, yeah? neither A nor B? What
Fire.
would fire? Yeah, fire. Or table, or yeah, wonderful. So that's why we call that three possibilities. You have something which is A and B, you have something which is A and not B, and you have something which is neither. Yeah, that's okay for everyone?
And water in form of gas.
Yes, yes, and the water in the form of gas. We could ask the question to the defender. If he says, okay, that it's still H2O, okay, why not? So, but if he says, okay, it's not really wet and moistening, but we could say that, yeah, vapor in one sense, yeah, is wet and moistening, but gas, I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, that's a good question, yeah, to ask to the Sautrantikas. Yeah, you could call Acharya Dharmakirti to ask him. Okay, so do you have another other examples, other illustrations of that configuration? Yeah, three possibilities. Who would give us?
Man,
Apple and red apple.
Sorry.
Apple and red apple.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't get.
Apple and red apple.
Yes, wonderful. Apple and red apple. Yeah, everybody agrees. Three possibilities. What else?
human beings and men.
Yeah, human beings and men. Yeah, wonderful. Or sentient beings and men, no? What did you say, Nico?
Human beings and men.
Oh, okay. So it works as well, eh? Sentient beings and men, human beings and men. Yeah, okay. What else? Can we say, like, for instance, red and color? Does it work? Yeah, red and color. You're too smart for me. I have to find higher level illustrations. Okay. So, for instance, impermanent and existent.
Three possibilities.
Three possibilities between impermanent and existent? You are sure?
Should I trust your face or not?
Like don't trust my face. Okay, yeah, impermanent and existent, yeah. If it is impermanent, it has to exist. No, if it is changing moment by moment, it has to exist. But if it exists, it is not necessarily impermanent, yeah. That's what we learn also in the Sautrantika. In the Buddhist view, we have permanent and impermanent phenomena, yeah. That's very important, yeah. That's one of the divisions of the existent category. Okay, so impermanent, yeah. Wonderful. We will have some slides in the future about some tiny explanations about the Sautrantika view with the selflessness and so on, but it will come like from time to time, yeah? Okay, on the proper time. Okay, wonderful. So if I ask you now, how many points between a monk and lama? Oh,
4 possibilities.
4 possibilities for Nicolas. I would wear, if I were in your shoes, I would follow him. Yeah, he is very smart. Yeah. Oh, Belgian guy.
Can you explain those 4 possibilities?
Sorry. So yes, we will see it just after on the file. I will share the screen. Yeah? We will see that just after, because we found something which is A but not B. Yes, something which is A and not B. But now we could find also something which is B also and not A. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, and if you find as well something, if you can posit something which is neither, which is neither A nor B, so you check in each possibility, and you have 4 possibilities. Like for instance, Nicolas said monk and lama. Yeah, so it follows, Nicolas, you can posit an illustration of something which is both. Monk and
Accept.
Lama. Okay, opposite.
Lama Zopa Rinpoche.
Lama Zopa Rinpoche, it follows that he is a monk.
Yes.
Yes, okay, generally speaking, he's a monk. Yeah, he's a monk because
Or let's say His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So maybe it's easier.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama is a monk
Because he's living in the vows of a Gelong.
yes, in the pure Gelong vows. Yeah, wonderful. And His Holiness the Dalai Lama is a Lama.
Accept.
Yes, he's a Lama because
He's a Lama because he's extremely skilled at teaching and expanding the Dharma.
accept. Okay, so now we have a perfect illustration of a monk and a Lama. Yeah, everybody agrees? Okay, I don't see the terms. Okay, no problem. So, okay. And it follows that if you posit 4 possibilities, it follows that you can posit someone who is a monk but not a Lama.
Accept.
Okay, posit.
Venerable Tenzin.
Venerable Tenzin is a monk but is not a Lama.
Accept.
It follows that you can posit someone who is a Lama but not a monk.
Accept.
Okay, posit.
Serkon Chencha Rinpoche.
Yeah, Serkon Tsencha Rinpoche, it follows that he is a Lama.
Accept.
Okay, it follows he is not a monk.
Accept.
Okay, so because you said 4 possibilities, we had something which is both, with someone with which is both. We had someone with it which is A and not B, and after we had someone who is B and not A, and now posit something which is neither.
Venerable Chutso.
Okay. Wow, that's very elegant. Wow, I was I was expecting a cup or
Or a tree, right?
or hold on a bit. But no, that's very good to give an existent. And indeed, Venerable Chotsola is not a monk because,
Because she's a nun.
yes, wonderful. And she's not the Lama because she doesn't have the students and so on. Yeah. Okay, so we have 4 possibilities between monk and Lama. Everybody agrees? Yeah? Everybody agrees? Okay. I will cut the sharing. Okay, so do we have until 4:30 here in France?
That's up to you, Christophe.
Thank you so much. Everybody agrees? Do you have time? A little bit time?
Can I
Okay.
just go back to the 3 possibilities
Yes, sure.
of impermanent and existent?
Yes.
Because there can be existence which are not impermanent, and an impermanent existent is inexistent.
Yeah.
But something which is neither, there's no existent that is neither existent nor impermanent. So we can't really talk about 3 possibilities.
Yeah, so in that case, that's a very good remark. Yeah, indeed. In that very case, you can tick in the middle. You have some common base, yeah, between impermanent and existent. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you have cup. Cup, for instance, the subject cup is impermanent and is existent. So you have the first possibilities. Now you have existent, which is not impermanent. So for instance, uncompounded space. Yeah. For instance, or a mere negation, any mere negation. Okay. That's okay. So it's
Or a mental event.
mental event.
Oh, no, not impermanent. It has to be a permanent phenomenon. Yeah, we're not talking about form. We're talking about impermanent. Yeah.
I was ready to.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
But
Very good.
the
So
third
yes,
possibility is
and
neither
yes,
A nor B.
yes. So for instance, Honor the rabbit. Honor the rabbit. Is it impermanent?
No.
Is it existent?
No.
So it is something which is neither.
Yeah, but don't these 3 possibilities have to be existence?
No, not necessarily, because when we in many cases when we are looking for something which is neither A nor B, we find the non-existent. Yeah.
Okay.
But not always in that spot. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So,
What is something that is impermanent and non-existent?
we cannot find it. That's why we don't have 4 possibilities, but only 3 possibilities. Yeah. Well, yeah, wonderful. Wow. Okay, I'm very impressed. Yeah. Yeah. Very good.
Nibbana?
The nirvana would be existent, but not impermanent. Exactly. Yeah. Ah, wonderful. Okay. Yes. So now, could we posit 4 possibilities between, okay, the color of a tissue and uh and red. Oh, you have 2 hours. The color of tissue and red. How many possibilities? 4 possibilities? Possible? Yeah. 4 possibilities. Wow. Okay, so your first job is to check, are there any common bases? Yeah, that's very important. So if you know, like we are checking the color of a tissue and red, so you know that they are different, they are existent, they are diverse, they are different. Okay, so your first job as a defender is, can I find any common base? Yeah, between the color of a tissue and red. If you find some common base, it's not contradictory, so you discard one answer. Yeah. Okay, so now your further step is to check if it is only comprehending common basis, and then there would be equivalent and so on. So that's always the process, yeah, as we saw on the file. Yeah? Okay, so who would give an illustration of something which is the color of a tissue and red?
A red tissue.
A red tissue, it follows that a red tissue is the color of a tissue.
The color of a red tissue. I fell into that.
Okay, so your answer would be?
Color of a red tissue.
Okay.
Color of my.
Okay, the color of monk's robe, the color of nun's robe. Yeah, okay, in the Tibetan tradition.
Yeah.
Okay, not during sojourn. Otherwise, it could be yellow. Okay, no problem. Then, okay, so it follows that the color of a monk's robe is the color of a tissue.
Christophe, actually, a tissue is a mouchoir in French. Maybe
Oh.
you're talking about cloth or fabric, maybe.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. Yeah. The
Tissue,
color
yes, you're
is the
right.
color of cloth. Yes, thank you
Yes,
so
cloth.
much. My broken English.
Oh,
Okay. Yes. So it follows that the color of a monk's robe, it follows that it is the color of cloth.
yes,
Oh, okay. And it follows
Except.
it is red.
except.
So it is a common base between the color of cloth and red. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. So now can you posit something which is the color of cloth and not red?
Yes,
Yes. Which is
the color of my t-shirt.
the color of your t-shirt. It follows that it is the color of cloth.
Accept.
Okay, it follows it is not red.
Accept.
It is not red because
Because it's black.
if it is black, it's necessarily not red.
Accept.
And if it is not red, it's necessarily black.
No.
Ah, wow. Okay. Wonderful. Belgian intellect. IT intellect.
Can you repeat that whole thing but slower?
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Okay. So, yes, so each time the challenger will try to verify, to double check each point, yeah? So we try to find an illustration of something which is the color of cloth and the color red, okay? So we find we found something. So now Nico is telling that the color of the t-shirt, the color of his t-shirt is not red, yeah? Okay, so then I try to know why it is not red. Yeah, so I ask him. Okay, it follows. So it follows that it is not red. Okay, it is not red because it is black. Okay, so if the color of cloth is black, it cannot be red. Yeah. So it follows that dark red is not black and red.
Accept.
Can be black for a cat.
Can be black for a cat and red for us. So there is a common base between black and red.
Why?
There is no common base between black and red.
Accept.
The subject dark red. It is not a common base between dark and red, black and red.
Accept. It is not a common base.
But it is dark and red.
But it's neither black nor red. It's another color.
But it is red and dark. Okay, so sometimes the challenger will try to bluff a little bit. Okay, wonderful. You're too smart for me. Okay, you don't fall in the trap. That's wonderful. There is no common base at all between black and red. Yeah, everybody agrees. Okay, so then we have something which is the color of clothes, but not red. Yeah. Okay. Then can we find something which is red but not the color of cloth?
A red balloon.
A red balloon.
The color of a red balloon.
Oh, the color of the red balloon is not the color of a cloth.
Except.
Okay, and it is red.
No. The color of
A red
say
balloon.
again?
Yeah, the color of red balloon is not the color of cloth.
It's the color except.
Okay, and it is red.
Except.
Okay, it is red because
it is not another color.
okay. So it follows that if it is not another color than red, it's necessarily red. It follows that uncompounded space is not any color than red. And it's not red either.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. Well,
If it is a
form.
color,
It's
yeah.
material form.
Okay. Yeah, if it is a color and it is
has shape
and it is not red, it has to be red.
Shape and form. No,
Yeah, you can say it's form. Yeah.
form with shape
But
and color.
the color of
its
cloth
color
also is form, yeah?
not color. Because
Yeah.
if it has color, it has to be form.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So of course, compounded space cannot.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, wonderful.
A red of rainbow.
Okay. Yes, okay, the color red in a rainbow. Okay, yeah, that would work as well. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so we had something which is the color of cloth and red. We had something which is the color of cloth but not red. We have something which is red but not the color of cloth. And now we are looking for something which is nada. What would it be?
Maybe water.
Water. Yeah. Water is not a color. So how can we see water?
So it's neither color. It doesn't match the common base of the cloth and the.
Yes, exactly. It's not red and it's not the color of cloth. Exactly, wonderful. So we have 4 possibilities between red and the color of cloth. Yeah, everybody agrees? Okay, so now, of course, sometimes we could ask ourselves, okay, what am I doing here? Checking about the color of clouds and so on. But, you know, it's like when you try to try to have some kind of acute state of mind, you need to use some exercise. Yeah, so like someone who is working in the wooden shop, yeah, in the wood shop. Comment on appelle ça, un charpentier ou un sculpteur?
Carpenter.
Carpenter, thank you so much. A carpenter, sometimes he needs to aiguiser. Sharpen, thank you so much. Sharpen his tools, yeah. So when he's doing that, his job is not really fantastic, but with the perspective of a beautiful statue, a wooden statue and so on, then now you can see how important it is, yeah, to reflect and to check. Even sometimes some debates are not really interesting, but the final goal, yeah, is the more important to keep in mind. Yeah, okay. Wonderful. So we have 4 possibilities, contradictory, and so on. I will ask you some questions now. Okay. So how many points between permanent and impermanent? What is the difference? Contradictory, equivalent, 3P, 4P? Between permanent and impermanent.
Contradictory.
Contradictory, everybody agrees? It follows that the subject, the two, permanent and impermanent, are contradictory. Accept. Yes. They are contradictory because?
Because what is A is not B and what is B is not A.
Yes. But we could say that what is horn of the rabbit is not unicorn, and what is unicorn is not horn of the rabbit. Are they contradictory? Ah,
Both do not exist.
yes. So we need to precise a little bit our answer. And yes, we can say, of course, yeah, there is nothing which is permanent and impermanent. And if it is impermanent, it cannot be permanent. We can say so, yes. But if we sorry, if we miss to speak about existent, then the challenger has the open way to come with the horns of the rabbit and unicorns and all the circus, yeah. So then, yes, if they are different, and if it is the one, it cannot be the other, and so on. Yes, okay, then that works. Yeah, okay, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so now between existent and non-impermanent. Ooh. Now we have something to crunch. 3P for Nico. Between existent and non-impermanent. 4P. So 3.5 for Nico.
Are you counting this finger as a half?
Yeah, exactly. So existent and non-impermanent, because we will learn also how to deal with the negations. They are so important, so important. Yeah, some of them, yeah, the selflessness, emptiness, they are negations. Yeah, we have to deal with that. Yeah, so non-impermanent. Yeah, that's a negation. Yeah, okay. So we have 3.5, 4 possibilities. Yeah.
Now, can you include in or are you talking about non-impermanent existence or just non-impermanent?
Just as you know, like when the challenger, usually I forget to speak about that, but the challenger will say the subject in order to precise what he is speaking about. Yeah. So he will say between the subject, the two, existent and non-impermanent. Yeah.
So the second non-impermanent can include non-existent.
Ah, that's exactly the point
So
to
therefore
debate.
4 possibilities.
Ah, 4 possibilities. Oh, there is a club. There is a club. There is an association of 3 or 4. I forgot.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because it's difficult to. No, I guess it's B because it's nothing that would be B that is.
Oh, we will see. We will see. We will see.
And also,
We
yeah.
will let other
And
people
3
reflect as well. Okay. Okay, so existent, yeah, it's a phenomenon, it has to be observed by the cognition. Okay. Impermanent is defined as momentary. Yeah, it has to change moment by moment, yeah. Okay, so so fast, like Venerable Gendandul will say, Yeah, so it's getting so fast. Yeah. So, okay, subtle impermanence. Yeah, when we speak about subtle impermanence, yeah, the momentariness. Okay. So if it's momentary, it has to exist with it. Are you okay? Are you okay with that? If it's momentary, it has to exist. If it's impermanent, it has to exist. Yeah. If it's changing moment by moment, it has to exist. Okay. But if it is not changing moment by moment, if it's not impermanent, does it have to exist? No. For instance,
Horns of a rabbit.
horns on the rabbit, the subject horns on the rabbit, it follows they are not impermanent.
Accept.
Yes, because it cannot be impermanent and not impermanent. Yeah, it has to be one or the other. Yeah, they are totally dichotomy. Yeah, a total dichotomy. So, so okay, because horn on the rabbit doesn't exist, it cannot be impermanent. So it is not impermanent. So it is non-impermanent. Yeah, okay. Okay. So if it is not impermanent, it doesn't necessarily exist. Yeah, and if it exists, is it necessarily impermanent? Ah, okay. So we have some reflections there. Wonderful. Okay, so with that in mind, who would give some illustrations of existent and not impermanent?
Non-bounded space.
Space.
Yes, and
Space.
yes, space, yeah. What else?
Nirvana.
Nirvana, yeah. What else?
The absence of Barack Obama in my room.
The absence of Barack Obama in your room. Okay. Okay, so all the mere negations, yeah, okay, uncompounded space and so on. Okay, wonderful. So it follows that it is the common base between existent and non-impermanent, yeah? Okay, because it is permanent, so it cannot be impermanent, yeah? So it's not impermanent. Yeah, are you okay with that? Okay, wonderful. Now, can you posit something which is okay, which is not non-impermanent and non-existent?
The horns of a rabbit.
Yes,
The
exactly.
elephant.
Yes, horn of the rabbit is yeah. Yeah, it has to be impermanent or not impermanent. Yeah, so because horn of the rabbit doesn't exist, cannot be impermanent, so it's non-impermanent. Yeah, okay. And horn of the rabbit is non-existent as well. Yeah, okay, wonderful, wonderful. Now, can you posit something which exists, but it's not non-impermanent?
A computer.
A computer, the subject, the computer exists.
Accept.
It exists because.
Because it is established by valid cognition.
Yes, if it is established by valid cognition, it necessarily exists.
Accept.
Okay, and the computer, the subject, the computer is not non-impermanent.
Accept.
It's not non-impermanent because
Because it is impermanent.
if it is impermanent, it's necessarily not impermanent.
Accept.
Oh, wonderful. So now up to now, we have three possibilities, something which is both, yeah? Existent and non-impermanent, yeah? So you select any permanent phenomenon, yeah? Okay, now existent, which is not impermanent, you choose any impermanent phenomenon, yeah? Okay, now non-impermanent, which is not existent, you choose any non-existent, yeah? Okay, and something which is neither?
Neither what and what, sorry?
Neither existent and non-impermanent.
It's not permanent, it's nothing.
Divided by 0.
Sorry?
Divided by 0.
Yes, divided by 0.
Or the other line, the numeric line,
Sorry?
the line of the line that is drawn for both from 0 to positive and non-positive, like both sides.
Okay. So it follows that it doesn't exist, yeah?
It does.
Yeah, because we are looking for something which is on the one side non-existent and not non-impermanent, yeah? Something which is neither A and B, yeah? Existent and non-impermanent. So next time we will have slides, yeah, of course, now you are in the hardcore and we are discussing like this, but next time we will have slides in order to visualize a little bit better all of that, yeah? Okay, so something which is not existent and not impermanent, yeah, it cannot exist and it has to be impermanent because not impermanent means impermanent. So you cannot find anything which is impermanent and not existent, yeah? So in that very case,
What
yeah.
about dinosaur?
Sorry? Sorry? Richard? I didn't hear. Sorry. So yeah, can you tell it again? Okay, no problem. So yes, just keep in mind that yeah, Nicola was right in one sense to say 3.5 because it's 3 without anything being neither. That's a very special configuration. We have some others like this, but for the moment, it's just to show you that we can find exceptions. Yeah. So when we speak about the 4 types of relationships, like contradictory, equivalent, 3P, and 4P, that's the mainstream. Yeah, the mainstream explanation. But some details sometimes are a bit diverse. Yeah. Okay. So just to tell you that and to think about the negations and double negations as well. Yeah? So next time we will dive in a little bit more in that. We will have some exercises. If you wish, I can do some quizzes as well, Google Form quizzes. They are pre-marked, so then it's easy. You can just click and in an easy way. I will try to find some time to do that next time. We'll see. Okay, and we will have slides and we will dive a little bit in the Sotrantika and go further in the permanent phenomena and impermanent phenomena and also one and different. Why is it so impermanent? Why is it so important? Because in the Madhyamika reasonings, we find that right, when the Arya Nagarjuna is asking himself, yeah, is the I one or different from the aggregates? Yeah, so we have to know what means one and different, and especially for the Sotrantika, inherently one and inherently different. So yeah, we will have to check that step by step, slowly, and having fun as well. That's maybe one of the most important things. Thank you so much. You've been so smart and so interactive. I really appreciate, and thank you so much, Nicola. It's a very great pleasure. That's one of my favorite courses. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christophe. And so we will see everyone next week at the same time in the same Zoom link. Let me just, somebody's accidentally unmuted themselves, I feel. So next week we will meet at 6:30 p.m. EST again. Same Zoom link. And tomorrow we'll be sharing the video recording of this session. So if you want to listen to it again, it will be shared to the Tushita Delhi YouTube channel. And we'll also add the link to the document that Christophe used, so you can also review that document and prepare for next week. And in the meantime, if Christophe wants to share more documents, we actually have a WhatsApp group that is called Debate Class. So I will also share the link to that group, so you can join that group, so you can easily find all the documents that Christophe wants to share, or exercises or quizzes and so forth. Thank you very much, everyone. And thank you so much, Christophe. That was really wonderful. And I hope we have many more such sessions in the future. Thank you very much. Have a good night or a good day, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.